If they bring Aleister Black back, can they bring him back to the themes? Not the theme song.
Back in Black?
I'm trying to give you a fucking snippet for the beginning. Yes, Back in Black. That's what I was going for.
I'm still going to use that. Welcome back to the Jojitorium. It's Adam and Matt bringing their action-packed episode to King with the boys. From buckle to bell, we give you all the news you need to get caught up in the world of professional wrestling, and a little sprinkle of everything else. Here in the Jojitorium, we do like to get a little spooky, but not like our friends over at the Halloween is Forever podcast. These ghouls bring the fright to the fight as three hosts rip horror topics to shreds as they battle to see whose favorite horror flick reigns supreme. Brought together by beer, united by horror, Halloween is Forever will certainly give you that fix that only the candy corn season can. Check out Halloween is Forever by following them on Instagram at Halloween is Forever, or just search them out on Spotify and make sure you tell them the boys sent you.
Yeah, man. I just listened to episode 1. It was all themed around summer camp movies, and my favorite movie was included, Sleepaway Camp.
I know why you like that movie.
Don't know how it ended up. Not going to spoil it for anybody, but it was included, so I was thrilled at that.
So is it possible that you like that movie immensely because of the ending of it?
No, the ending's a shocker, but I like the whole thing. It's so campy and cheesy.
I like that you behind the scenes of it, they always talk about like how they had to like superimpose the female actor's head on the male's body. And I don't want to give away, like, if you want to watch it, surprise, there's a penis at the end.
But, I mean, it came out in like 1984, so
there are still some people. I met someone the other day who didn't watch Billy Madison ever.
Well,
yeah, we're getting old, buddy.
You know, it's going to get spoiled then.
Yeah, spoiler alert, there's a dick at the end.
Billy Madison?
Yep. Back to school. So, much like other episodes that we always have a local beer that we get to feature for the episode, and I'm actually really happy about this because we get to feature one of Adam's beers here. So we actually have Dad Shoes. Dad Shoes drops today. We're doing this on a Friday. So the social medias are already on fire right now about where you can get it, how you can get it. So Adam, I know you've been very kind to let us do Dad Shoes on this episode. So talk us through it, man.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be a narcissist and give my tasting notes on it. I'll let you do that part.
You should, though.
But what it is a Pilsner wheat blend in the malt. And then we hop it with lemon drop hops, and then we add a little bit of lemon after fermentation. So it's a lemon shade. So it's like our Leinenkugel killer in time for Father's Day.
Absolutely. So cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Exactly as described. Nice weediness underneath all the lemon flavor. It's not super tart. It feels like a summer beer. Definitely something that, you know, if you're hanging out in the heat, and you need a little refresher because you're greening up all those New Balances cutting the grass. This definitely fits the bill. What's it coming in at? 5.5?
5.2. I think it's the lightest beer we brewed in 2021. So.
Okay, so coming in at 5.2, absolutely crushable beer.
Yeah, we were shooting for about 5, so we beat it by a little bit. I'm really happy with where the ABV is and how it turned out.
Absolutely. And this is just one of the many beers that you can see coming out of the Brew Lab here. So don't forget to follow Adam at @bash_brew on all social media. You can see what's happening there. So we're going to sip on this bad boy throughout the entire episode. I'm very happy because I will be celebrating Father's Day with as many of these things as you allow me to leave the Brew Lab with. So
absolutely, sir.
Yeah. Just as no surprise to anybody, this is my favorite summer beer. I think we talked about before about summer lineups, and I put this in there, and I put it in there for a good reason because it is that good.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
So speaking of good news, I'm going to bring you some news.
Not all of it good.
It's not all good. So Hell in the Cell is coming up here pretty soon, and we have some confirmed matches. One of which makes sense and is boring, and the other one makes no sense because there's no build. So First and foremost, we're going to have chapter, I don't know, what is it, 37 of the Lashley versus McIntyre feud.
Yeah, they're just going to keep beating McIntyre until he can't get up.
I'm so happy that McIntyre was able to have his moment with the belt and then get repeatedly beat over and over and over. And now this time he can do it in a cage, which is fun.
And I've had to stop watching Raw because I've heard they're just repeating matches week after week. And they're clearly on the Raw brand repeating pay-per-views month after month now, too. This is the third month in a row, correct?
Yeah.
Fourth, maybe?
Yeah. It's tough, man. And that's like, even the segment of them signing off on the contract, the only thing they could think to do to spice up is like, yo, Drew, bring a broadsword. And he slammed it through the table, and Lashley had to pretend like he was scared. I don't know, man. My prediction for this is that they finally let this whole rivalry die. I don't care who wins anymore.
I don't either. I mean, we're not making predictions, but I think Lashley will take it again. I mean, I think they're going to want him at SummerSlam when
Brock
comes
Lesnar.
back, so.
Say his name the right way.
Brock Lesnar. I don't want to say it another time, though, because it might be like Candyman. He might show up.
Yeah, if he does, then like whatever he wants to do to you, he's going to do to you. There's no stopping him. So the other match that got signed up here, one that's interesting because it's two different styles, but it doesn't make any sense to me, is Roman Reigns is taking on Rey Mysterio. There's almost literally no build to this, but Roman Reigns is possibly, and it might be arguably, if I don't think though, he's the best thing going on WWE right now.
I think main roster, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch every minute of main roster WWE anymore. I just can't.
It's hard,
because
man.
it's just a drag.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's the best thing going. He's definitely the best version of himself in his career right now, too.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the dynamic. At least it's something new. He's not fighting, I don't know even who he was against. He
had the Daniel Bryan three-way match.
Oh, and that blew off, yeah.
That blew off. And I thought they were going to start trying to build one of the Usos against him. Because there's a lot of, like, turmoil right now between, like, in the, what do you call it? They're calling themselves the family table, right? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, so in the family table, the Usos are like, slowly defecting. So I think it's going to come down to probably a handicap match where Roman Reigns is going to put the Usos down because, acknowledge me. That's,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it, though. Clash of Styles. Both sides have a family dynamic going right now. So,
yeah.
A little outside interference, maybe.
And I like Rey Mysterio a lot. Grew up liking him. He's always been a fan favorite of mine, and he's great luchador. So I want to see what he can do.
Yeah, he can still do amazing stuff for
if he walks away with the belt, that would be the biggest upset, I think.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, it's not happening. But speaking of something that we thought would never happen, Eva Marie is finally going to debut on Raw on June 14th. There's a ton of hype here, but I don't really see where she fits in with the women's roster because the women's roster isn't making any significant moves right now.
No, I mean, if they wanted a redheaded version of Lana, they could have just dyed her hair red.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what you're getting here. Like, the work rate when she was there before wasn't great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she trained her ass off.
No. She looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like she's ready.
Too. Yeah.
I tell you one thing I hope that she really improved on is her mic skills, because that was really hard.
They were dog shit.
You're way less sensitive than I. Yeah, when she got on the microphone, I could almost feel myself telling myself, like, go get another beer. Speaking of another beer match, Jungle Boy versus Kenny Omega, it has to happen, but does anybody really care about it?
No, I mean, I'd like to see how they make Jungle Boy look in that match. I mean, I'm hoping he gets a lot of offense in.
Oh, he will.
Strong, and then it's just going to be, kind of like run-in interference finish, I'm sure.
So make him lose dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes sense too. And I think, well, here's what I'll say too. I know this. You don't like Kenny Omega as much as I do. I like Kenny Omega. Or at all. But I do I do enjoy Jungle Boy. I do. But I just don't think that he's at that level yet. Like, when you look at Omega versus Moxley, or you even saw like a Lance Archer in there, like something like that level of wrestler in there. And I think Jungle Boy's on his way, but he either needs to be all into the high flying for his body size, or he needs to figure out how to, like, bulk up or something and become a brawler, because he's kind of like in the middle, and it doesn't quite fit every time.
Yeah, it works when he's against smaller guys, but he's not always against smaller guys to do that. So.
He would never be believable. Like, so let's say he captures the belt and he goes against like a Lance Archer or a Miro. Like, it's not going to make any sense to me.
Right.
But Kenny Omega going against them, I could see that.
Right.
Because much as you don't like him, Omega thick.
Well, I am looking forward to a match they just announced for TNA where he's going against the Moose.
That'd be cool.
I think on Saturday or Sunday night.
Yeah.
So I am looking forward to that one. I think that'll be a
good one.
A higher contested match.
Yeah, I think so too. Omega has that match too against Andrade for the AAA belt.
Yeah, in August sometime.
August, yeah. After Andrade unfortunately wrestles that dipshit Alberto Del Rio. Send them packing. El Patron. Speaking of packing, how about that 5-way dance at NXT TakeOver? Karrion Kross looked like a complete meat castle on the last episode, the Go Home episode. But I feel that this is Karrion Kross's send-up match, man. He's going to lose.
It seems quick, but it could be because he lost almost a year, right, with that injury.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean... If Vince has gotten a look at him, he probably wants him on the main roster.
He fits everything that Vince loves. It's just that big, powering, muscular guy. That's right. Checks all the boxes.
And we talked about it last week. It's a fatal 5-way, so it's not an eliminator. So
right.
He doesn't need to get pinned.
Right.
He just needs to get detained, disabled, whatever.
Yeah.
And then
that'll happen.
He doesn't even have to get pinned.
Yeah.
So
I really think you're going to see Adam Cole walk out of that match with the belt
I hope
again.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, there's like one guy I'd be upset if he doesn't win it, and I think it's Gargano. Right?
Yeah,
he's in the match. Yeah, anybody but Johnny. That's my motto.
Anybody but Johnny.
I like everybody else in the match.
Lastly, here before we go on to some fun stuff, unfortunately, Ricochet and Humberto are falling into the Aleister Black, misfavoring here, where they're just being used in the most ill fashion. They wrestled to a double count-out draw on Monday Night Raw, the show that you do not watch, and this is exactly why I know you don't watch it, because they were trying to wrestle for a chance at the U.S. title currently held by 2008's Cody Rhodes. He has that stupid face mask on, Sheamus.
It was for a legitimate nose break, though.
It was for a legitimate nose break, but if you don't sniff shades of Cody Rhodes with that on, like
absolutely,
it's crazy. But I think too, and it's something that I put in the notes here for us. It's going to be a 3-way match,
probably.
And is WWE just in love?
When is the pay-per-view this Sunday?
It's the 20th.
Okay,
yeah.
So they have another week where they can face them off again on Monday Night Raw and
have them screw up,
have like a double DQ or a double count out or something.
Right.
Yep, I bet you that's what they do. But hey, at least they were on Raw and not main event. So.
Yeah, that's good. Finally bringing.
There you go, Ricochet.
Yeah, good Lord, Ricochet. When you signed that contract to stick around that company for X amount of years, still, you signed your own death warrant, man. Like there's nothing you're going to be able to do here. You wrestled to a double count out for the U.S. title that didn't mean shit until Sheamus put it on his body, and then Sheamus is a great title holder. But he's already shown that he clowns you in the rings. I don't know, man. I feel bad for Ricochet. I think he's a talented wrestler. He's just not getting a good shot.
You want me to make this even worse?
I do.
I want it to be a one-on-one between Ricochet and Sheamus.
Yeah.
And Ricochet comes out acting Irish and goes by Rick O'Shea.
I like
Sheamus.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Got my dad jokes tonight.
Perfect. Drinking the dad shoes, getting the dad jokes.
The more you were saying Ricochet, I was like, Rick O'Shea.
So we put it out to you guys, too, about Aleister Black out into the Twitterverse. We asked you guys, where do you think Aleister Black will land? He's now known as Tommy End. 60% of you came in with AEW, 30% going to Impact, and 10% going to the Indies, and nobody thought he was going to New Japan.
Yeah, I mean, he did that podcast with Renee Young.
Yeah.
But
I almost call her Raquel.
It's
Renee Young. The oral sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, all of his dream opponents he named, none of them were in New Japan.
Yeah.
From what I could remember.
Isn't that something?
I don't know. Again, maybe he's already talking to some people.
Well, I think, too, it's kind of cool because I think the way it's working now, because there's some behind-the-scenes thing with how Tony Khan's running his contracts. I think when you land in AEW, he's just kind of like, all right, man, go go do whatever you want to do anyway. So he could still have those matches.
It came out that Andrade didn't get like creative control completely, but he has control over like his finishes.
Yeah, which is awesome.
AEW. So, yeah, I mean, you can get yourself in a little bit of WCW hot water if you go with that too much, but it's also appealing for the performers.
And I also think too, for a talent like Andrade, you want to you have to have a hook for him. He's already made money. He doesn't need money. Right. He needs to be the most he can be of himself. So again, we're going back to all those free agents we have. So Adam, I want to play fantasy booking with you. Let's make a WCW Night of the Champions card together. So the rules that we're going to work with here are, we're going to work with the free agents that don't have homes, and we're not going to give them homes, but we're going to give them matches for titles or for stardom. And it's going to be like I said, the WCW Night of the Champions kind of style. So it's going to just be belt after belt after belt. Now, I was going to ask you, do you want one person coming in with the belt, or you just want it to be vacant? But I don't think it really matters at this point.
Since we were booking a free agent in every match, I assumed the other person who's not the free agent has the title already.
Smart. Okay.
And I actually booked current champions in most situations.
Fantastic.
But I didn't have to book a current champion because I had a backup in one.
You don't have to book it. Yeah.
But I did in most situations.
Yeah. So let's call this the Jojitorium Night of Champions 2021.
Nice. Do you want to just run through what we're picking first, or just...
We can back and forth it.
Well, I was just going to say, like, we're doing an opening match. We're doing an IC title match.
Yes.
A TV title match. Mm-hmm. The women's title. A tag title match. And then a overall world title match.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go back and forth.
Okay. So, like any good card, they have an opening match, an appetizer. So, and these are some of the hardest matches to book. So, Adam, I put it to you. Who is going to open this card for you to get the fans hooked?
So I'm not proud of all of my fantasy booking. I think most of them are good, but I really thought I got creative on this one, and it's two guys I love.
Yeah.
Buddy Murphy, who's just recently released free agent, against Ray Phoenix.
Oh, my goodness. AEW. That's a fantastic match. You got Bud Murphy, who is probably one of those sound technicians on the free agent market, and Ray Phoenix, who I believe is the best luchador right now.
So high-paced, high-flying to open up the card, get everybody pumped. Ordering some beers.
Hell yeah, man.
Do it.
I'm going to go in a different direction than you.
Okay.
I'm going to take Santana Garrett, who's out in the market right now, and I think she's very sound in the ring, and I want to see her go against Rio, because Rio put on a great match in the buy-in with Serena Deeb for Double or Nothing, and I think Rio can match the style up again. It's kind of like a replay of her against Deeb, except Santana Garrett has more of a striking background. So it won't be as much of the mat technician as it will be more of a high pace kind of match back and forth.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
So bringing back one of the titles that I wish had more clout in more promotions, the Intercontinental title, which is coveted, I believe. I used to love the days of Goldust versus Razor Ramon.
Yep. I was going to say when Razor and Sean held
Oh, my God. Yeah, that ladder match was insane. So this is the match that you have to put in some great upper mid card talent, and so I think here this is where I'm gonna like start with the blockbuster stuff, because I want to start putting people into this one. So for the IC title, I'm putting Braun Strowman in here.
Oh, you went a little more blockbuster than I did.
So I want to see the IC title, but I'm not going to pick a current champion with mine. I do want to see Braun Strowman and Lance Archer.
Nice.
I want to see the Meat Castle match right off the bat. I think seeing these two titans just clashing over one of, in my opinion, one of the most prestigious titles in WWF history. I want to see two just big hosses go after it.
Very nice. I went, this is also one where I didn't put a current champion in. A former champion's in here, but not a current champion. And I went a little bit of a different direction.
Okay.
It's a very strike-heavy match. So I went with Japanese, some New Japan, some strong style. I have Okada going against Tommy End.
Oh my God, what a great matchup. Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
And Okada's coming in with the strap. He got the IC belt.
Oh, yeah. He's bringing that in.
Because if you didn't let me put him in, I was putting Sheamus in. I mean, it's still a strike heavy match, but
absolutely,
it's two WWE guys, so I wasn't really that.
What a fantastic match.
Okada, let's get some New Japan in here.
You're booking a great match already that I wish could take place. Just drinking beers and watching. Yo, god damn, dude, you're good at this. Adam Bashline for Booker of the Year. Screw you, Tony Khan. You don't have shit on Adam Bashline.
Wait till you hear my next one.
So, and it's great because you get to go first. So it's a TV title match. Some of the most well-known TV title holders of all time: Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Chris Jericho, and let's not forget our boy Rey Mysterio Jr. held it when it was called the Cruiserweight title in WCW, but it was still cool. It's a TV title. So who do you have?
Yeah, so this is my meat man castle of meat. Arby's commercial.
We have the meat
on my card, and I have the current TNT champion, Miro, going against free agent from a while ago, Samoa Joe.
You know what? I forgot about Samoa Joe.
Yeah, man.
How terrible is that, by the way?
I was like, who would I want to see Miro with the most? Because I was like, I just am putting him in, and I was like, thinking of all the free agents.
Yeah.
And I got to Samoa Joe, and I was like, yeah, freaking perfect. Like, they're so similar in their like styles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Miro looks like a freaking hoss now.
Yes.
I mean, Samoa Joe's no slouch. I think that'd be a great match.
Yes. This is where I bring back one of your picks. I would like to see Sammy Guevara go up against Bud Murphy.
Nice.
I think that's a nice, almost kind of like how you picked Ray Phoenix. Now, Sammy Guevara is not nearly as high flying, but Sammy Guevara has that like twinge of like hard style. So I would like to see that against, Bud Murphy brings that very sound technician to it. And for a TV title match, I think Sammy Guevara's in line right now for a nice TV title shot. So I think seeing those two together, they're solid mid-carders right now, trying to crest into the upper card. So I think they'd be really good to see them.
Yeah, plus Guevara can sell like a rag doll. So when Bud Murphy hits one of those high knees or whatever, he can just crumple to the mat.
He's got, what do they call that?
That crumple physics.
The crumple physics, baby. Yeah. UFC 4 had the best crumple physics. You could launch Conor McGregor like 80 feet in the air.
It just always makes me think of Virtual Fighter. Remember
back in the day? God,
and
yeah.
You get that roundhouse and knock him out and then just spaghetti noodle limbs.
So moving on here, we have the Women's Championship, which, by the way, all the different places here, we're seeing New Japan, we're seeing everyone's women's division is stepping their game up.
And even with that said, this is the one where I thought we might have picked the same two people.
It's a strong possibility.
Yeah. But you're first?
I'm first. So, hey, listeners, don't hate me, please. But I want to see Tessa Blanchard and Britt Baker go after it.
Oh, we got so close.
Yeah. I want to see Tessa Blanchard come out and get her ass whipped by Ms. 412 Britt Baker, DMD.
So, I am also putting Britt Baker in as the champ.
That's right, because you have to.
And Tessa Blanchard was second on my list, but I went with Heidi Lovelace, formerly known as Ruby Riott.
Such a good matchup.
Yeah. So I'd pay money for either of those.
Yeah. Oh, dude. See, because I think Ruby Riott, but Heidi Lovelace is much faster than Britt Baker. So it would be kind of cool to watch her like zing all over the place. It would almost kind of be reminiscent of like a Hikaru Shida matchup. That's a great match.
Yeah, actually, if we could, like, if there was just a regular women's match, I would put Heidi Lovelace against Thunder Rosa, and then I would have had your match. Yeah. Here, I would have had Tessa versus Britt.
Do you want to know what my three-way dance would have been for this? It would have been Thunder Rosa, Tessa Blanchard, and Britt Baker.
Yeah, I did all singles matches except for the tag title.
Yeah. But actually, the men's championship, I have multiple.
Oh, I thought about it, but I came up with a good one-on-one for that.
So we're going to go into, like you said, multiple. So we have the tag team championships, and it's at the Jojitorium. So you got to bring the heat on this one, Adam.
I got some free agents that may have been forgotten about.
Okay.
As of recently.
Let's hear about them.
So I have the Young Bucks.
Okay.
Of course, defending the titles against the new Hart Foundation, Davey Boy Smith Jr. And Teddy Hart.
Oh my God!
Get the controversy started with Teddy Hart in there. He's gonna bring his cat and his chains and his Jinko pants.
That's insane.
His furry Jinkos. I wonder where he buys those at, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk about your high flyers. Young Bucks with Teddy Hart all in the same match would be crazy. And then you got your big man, Davey Boy Smith Jr. So, and I believe I know Teddy Hart's a free agent. I know Davey's worked in New Japan, but he's pretty much
He's out and
freelancing
about
at this
there,
point.
yeah. So, leading up to the main event, the men's World Heavyweight Championship, which is never really held by a heavyweight, by the way. It's always just held by a dude that's the best wrestler.
Yeah. Makes up Bobby Lashley. Well, I mean, sometimes it
Bobby
happens to be a
Lashley's
heavyweight.
fucking huge. Yeah. So, Adam, this is where you got to get creative.
Oh, I got creative.
There are tons of people out there.
I got creative. I'm scared you're going to steal my fire, especially since you have 3 men in yours.
I do. So, there's a 3-way dance for the ultimate prize, the Jojitorium Men's World Heavyweight Championship. So, I am going to bring in the current champion, Kenny Omega, the belt collector, the cleaner, the Terminator. Good night. Bang. Going to bring in, I see the grimace on your face, Jon Moxley. Okay. And you know him. You love him. You wish you could be him. CM Punk comes out of retirement for a 3-way dance with some of the most renowned individuals in the world wrestling world.
Yeah.
You know, you have CM Punk, especially, let's say we did this in Chicago, the pop he would get over there. Seeing Omega lose to any 2 of those guys is fantastic. And also the storylines that happen afterwards, Omega losing dirty, sets up more matches. Moxley winning again brings on more. It's just, there's nonstop storylines from whoever wins there.
Not only that, but you have like the greatest wrestlers of their given generations, like in 3-year gaps. Like you had CM Punk in the early 2010s.
Yeah.
You had Omega in the middle to late, and then you have Moxley now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Did not steal mine.
Oh, thank goodness.
I actually didn't book CM Punk.
You know what? I thought when I suggested this to you that I was like, well, CM Punk's in a match somewhere, and I figured I had to steal it before you used it.
I wanted to squeeze him in somewhere, but for my main event, I wanted somebody that's been in the ring recently.
Okay.
But it's a free agent. So it's Kenny Omega for me as well.
Okay. As much as that hurts you.
Even though I don't like him, he is a good worker. Versus, I checked this morning, still a free agent, Bryan Danielson.
Wow.
AKA Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
So free agent, I mean, just a hell of a match there.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Super stiff.
They're like the same body style too. They are built the same. If they both had shaved heads,
yeah, I think Kenny's got a little bit of size on him.
Yeah.
Like height, especially, and girth. But
Omega, like I said before, homeboy thick.
Yeah.
He's a thick brother.
Yeah, but they'll be throwing knees on each other.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
It'll be sick.
Great.
Yeah, man. Especially seeing, I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but I'd love to see Daniel Bryan take that one-winged angel. I'd love it.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
I don't want him to win.
I don't want him to win either. I don't want him to win.
I don't want anybody to win until Hangman wins.
Another thing I was thinking of too, if I could like somehow still screw Braun Strowman over, I'd have the 3-way dance between Omega, CM Punk, and Braun Strowman, and have Braun Strowman take the pin, and I don't care who wins.
Fatal 4-way, throw Shane McMahon in there.
Choo choo. So thank you for hanging in there for our fantasy booking. And as always, if you think you can do better than us, shoot us an email, decayingwtb@gmail.com. We're going to take a break for some ads right now. So if you hear something you like, please go check them out, because when you support them, you support us, and we get to bring you some cool stuff. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Hey guys, I think we're all sitting here with partners, women in our lives that would kind of appreciate it if we groomed up a little bit. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm lucky enough to have been in touch with a company called Smooth My Balls, and they want to make sure that we bring our listeners what they have to offer. So right now, they offer the Turf Chopper 3.0 with skin-safe technology. So when you are trimming your sack, you don't mess up and bring a messed up chia pet to a magic party, if you know what I'm saying.
You got to bring your A game to the battlefield, guys.
Always. And the other thing, too, I don't know about you guys, but I often get talked to about having all the hair left in the sink. That's when the Pube Muncher 1.0 comes in. It's a little vacuum, sucks it all up, and grinds up all the hairs, and you can throw away a little easier. That way you can avoid a conversation later, and you can stay groomed.
Always important.
Always important. And right now, all of our listeners can save 15% on their order.
How can they do that?
I'm glad you asked, Josh. they can go to smoothmyballs.com/DWTB and save 15% on their entire order right now. That's smoothmyballs.com/DWTB. And don't forget to look at some of the other products they have, like the sack mat, like the sack vacuum, like the ball freshening powder, and everything else. It's all there for you. smoothmyballs.com/DWTB for 15% off your order right now.
Please them ladies.
The one-stop shop for men's grooming.
That's right. Welcome back. Hopefully you heard something that you like and you go check them out, because again, when you support them, you support us, and we get to do more fun stuff because we don't get to do this without you, and we don't get to make a little scratch without our sponsors. So help us out a little bit. So we're taking a break from all the wrestling because Adam and I just love to argue with each other. It's fun. I argue with you like you're my brother.
Yeah.
It's nice. Except you're way more fun.
Yeah, and then I'll go for a gut shot at the end when I just...
I know. Yeah. You're like the older brother I never had. So, like I said, the wrestling world is dense with news of fantastic wrestlers being released, poor ratings, blame games, and uncertainty. But do you know, Adam, what isn't so chaotic?
No, what?
Our childhood cartoons.
I did know that because it was in the notes,
It
but I
was
don't
in
want
the
to ruin your
notes.
thunder.
You're so wonderful. So, Adam, I challenge you and I to construct the Mount Rushmore of our childhood favorites. And because this is where you lay your head down to sleep, you have home field advantage. So, you will get to select first. So what we'll do is we'll go back and forth until we have 4 titans of cartoon supremacy, and we'll help our fans figure out if they've missed something in their childhood so they can fill up that gap. Sound like an idea?
Yeah, sounds
all right.
great.
So, Mr. This is my house and my speakeasy and where I brew beer. You get to go first.
Let's do it. So, my first pick, maybe not necessarily my favorite, but when I think childhood cartoons, it's the first thing I thought of. It hit kind of prime in my, like, preteen years. Watched a lot of Nickelodeon. It was a Nickelodeon show. So my number one pick is Rocko's Modern Life.
You bastard. I'm going to tell you right now, that was the first one that came to my brain, was Rocko's Modern Life, because it was a staple in my house. But I will say that I would turn off Rocko's Modern Life to wait for this cartoon, and that is Real Monsters.
That's on my list.
Loved Real Monsters.
It's probably my second favorite Nickelodeon.
There was something relatable about all those little bastards. They all had
the guy with the stinky armpits.
That's me.
You smelly.
That's me. Just
kid.
a thick, weird, hairy, smelly guy with awesome eyeballs.
And blue lips.
Yeah, blue lips, because I was always going through popsicles like a madman. I had pre-adolescent diabetes in the borderline. It's really, it's like, it's a problem when you're a kid and you're like, what's your favorite flavor popsicle? And you're like, blue. it's not even a flavor. Oh my god. So yeah, 2 strong picks right off the bat.
Yeah, you definitely took one of my picks.
That's what I'm here for.
So.
I'm here to screw up your picks.
So I'm going to go a little further back. And it was hard to pick between these two. These were when I was like a young kid, and I think we're probably off the air before my childhood, but like they were syndicated or whatever. And I'm between 2, but I'm going to have to go with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
That's a really good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool that you like crudely drawn bullshit for Saturday morning cartoons.
Skeletor.
Did you just like...
And half-naked men
yeah.
riding lions.
It was... I'm going to say right now, I liked that cartoon until I realized that it was... Like, I could have drawn it.
Yeah. Well,
Did you also like Space Ghost?
Yes, I did.
I
mean, when I was older, yeah.
That lets me know a lot about what...
Well, I like Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I never watched original.
You never did?
No, I never watched
It was awful. Let me tell you right now, it was like someone took the same drawing. It was only the same, like, 5 drawings, and they would just, like, move it. So, like...
Slightly.
Take the celluloid and put it facing right. Because, even if you look at everything about him, nothing has a letter on it. So it's all reversible.
So, like, what was this show on Adult Swim? Home Movies or Home Videos? Or
Home Movies, yeah. So it was crude like that. But, like, you could tell they could pick up the celluloid and, like, flip it over. Like, I'm looking to the right. I'm looking to the left. Yeah, and they would just flip it back and forth. There was like nobody had letters on their costumes. So for me, one of my nostalgia bombs that I could not get enough of when I was a little kid. You know, I'm surprised you didn't pick this off the rip, man. But the Mystery Machine was a real deal in my house. So Scooby Doo was on the case every day, Saturday morning, with my Cookie Crisp cereal, just sitting there.
It's a good one. That's a strong classic.
Yeah,
I don't have. I mean, He-Man is probably my most classic.
I would say
Scooby Doo is like a true classic.
Yeah, and that's not really like me to pick something that's so like
in the now so popular.
Yeah. But, like Real Monsters. Like nobody knew about that shit.
Yeah.
So it's on you, man.
So you said, I'm going on a technicality here. You said childhood cartoons, not children's cartoons. So it didn't have to be for kids.
Correct.
All right. So, great animated show that was on in my childhood that got me into music was Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, shit.
And I was not supposed to watch it, but my cousin would let me watch it with her. And that's how I got into like Motley Crue and all the hair metal bands.
Dude.
And Metallica.
I didn't know you were going to go straight up like... Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch it either.
Yeah, I watched that with her, and I watched another one that I don't want to say in case it's one of your picks, but I liked Beavis and Butthead better.
So, make sure you keep a hold of that, because I think I know what it is. Was it Daria? Did you watch Daria at all?
No, I did watch Daria.
I did enjoy Daria.
No, there was another inappropriate for kids one. Well, I guess Daria fell into that too.
Yeah, Daria was there.
But by the time Daria came around,
we were older.
Like we were teenagers, so it kind of fit our...
I was definitely in high school. Yeah, for sure. I loved Daria when I was growing up. Too. Yeah. So mine's going to seem so juvenile now because Angry Beavers. Angry Beavers.
Wasn't even in my scope.
I loved Angry Beavers because it was like just two autistic beavers just fighting it out over lickety splits.
Right.
Yeah, it was just like
over nothing. And
they like master woods craftsmen, like constantly building new houses, losing them, trying to build dams and whatnot. It to me was hilarious because it kind of fell in the same realm as Cat Dog, but it wasn't stupid. Like I thought Cat Dog had like nothing to it. At least Angry Beavers was like slapstick funny.
Angry Beavers had the classic Odd Couple thing going for it too.
Yeah.
Where I don't remember their names anymore.
Yeah.
But like the slick back, like cool one. Hated him. I loved the Spazoid one.
Yeah.
Loved the Spaz.
It was like Norbit and Daggett.
Yeah, I think
Norbit and Daggett. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a show that I really, because it always came on after Legends of the Hidden Temple. For some reason, it always followed Omex. Good day, and it was always Angry Beavers, and it went right into the yeah. On you, man.
So I'm gonna go back to like more of a kids relatable.
Thank goodness, because if you were like, I loved Heavy Metal 2000, it was sick as fuck.
So my last pick, which I loved, watched it every day after school growing up, Animaniacs.
Oh yeah, dude, and they brought that back too.
I heard. I think I watched maybe like 3 episodes of it. It was good. I just didn't.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not. It's more. PC now, and I don't like that.
Do you know what? There's actually, I would replace that with the spin-off of Freakazoid. I loved Freakazoid when I was growing up. I thought that was such a cool cartoon because it kind of reminded me of like he's very outcasty, but he had that cool like I can transform into something.
Well, go ahead. Is that your 4th pick?
No. My last pick here is one that kind of. I think it was the premise for how Angry Beavers was created because it kind of set the groundwork for like animals that interact with each other. Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy is probably my favorite.
No, that's the other one I was talking about.
Oh yeah. So Ren and Stimpy was
when I was talking Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah,
I was also allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy, but like it just didn't land.
Yeah,
the same way for me.
No, well, Beavis and Butthead was like. Yeah, Beavis and Butthead isn't going to hit the same way as Ren and Stimpy and vice versa. I mean, but dude, I tell you what, man, you didn't come out of left field with Beavis and Butthead, but you surprised me with Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. That was a good one, though.
Thank you.
Let me ask you right now, though. So now that we're adults and we still watch cartoons, because that's still what we do, what's your favorite adult cartoon right now?
Yeah, it's easy. I was like trying to think of something on Adult Swim I still watch, which there's not much. My favorite go-to, don't miss an episode, is Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
I like to go. We both like Metalocalypse for a while. It was really good. But I still am a sucker for South Park, man. When that thing comes on,
when I see like one of their episodes like really is like a big hit or whatever, I'll go and watch it. And or if it's on reruns, I'll watch it. It still holds up. It's still great.
I just love watching Randy make different strains of marijuana and keeps calling them specials and like fucking up the entire world. Integrity. We build our farms with integrity.
I had it was in Columbus.
Yeah.
One of the breweries there had a Integrity peach saison or something like that.
Did they have like hemp hops in it or something?
No, it just had Randy's face on the chalkboard. Totally looking for that cease and desist.
Oh yeah, trying to get that one going. So we have 8 strong candidates here, man. We have to settle on 4.
This is gonna be tough to whittle down.
It will be, and I believe it's gonna have some back and forth here because there are some similarities here.
Well, I think maybe we just like throw up what we want. Like we'll just go back and forth.
Okay. So same thing. It's your house, man. You let me know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. No surprise here. I'm throwing up my first choice. I think Rocko's Modern Life belongs on there for the 90s.
Yeah.
90s. Yeah. 90s cartoon.
How absolutely trippy was that cartoon, by the way?
It was great. And I'll still watch it if it's on.
Yeah.
Like they have the
Pluto.
Nicktoons.
Pluto TV.
And it's on
Yeah.
Pluto. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about it till I just said that. Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold is on Pluto TV all the time.
Yeah, but Hey Arnold, look, it was on my short list. Doug. Hey Arnold's just a rip-off, crappier version of Doug.
What?
Yep.
No way.
Oh, I said it. The grandpa character was creepy. I didn't like that shit.
Yeah, that's why he played does he have dementia or doesn't he?
Probably. No, I think it was drugs. I don't think it was.
He just like sits in the basement with all of his war stuff.
He had a meth lab. Yeah, he had all his war.
Arnold.
Yeah, had all his old war medals in a meth lab.
He used the pins of his fucking medals to scratch the matchboxes out so he can make.
Grandpa, you have a little too much World War II memorabilia. And what are all these beakers?
Then you find out that his grandpa was actually a Nazi.
Oh, totally. Totally was.
Like, Grandpa, show me some of your war medals. Why do they all have right angles in them? So, my number one I'm going to put up there, I think, above all else, I did say them for last, but Ren and Stimpy, I think, is, if we're going to make a Mount Rushmore of cartoons, you have to see Ren and Stimpy has to be up there.
There were a couple I was going to, like, completely knock on your list, but Ren and Stimpy is not one of them.
Who on my list are you going to pick?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what else makes it.
What? You got problems with my list of cartoons?
We'll see what else you try to throw on the main Mount Rushmore.
I might
have an argument. But you're not going to argue with me, because the next one I'm throwing up there.
Yeah. He-Man.
Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, yeah. How odd is that, by the way? Like, if the characters on the Mount Rushmore could talk to each other, and then it's just like, they're just sitting there with, what is that thing?
Dude, a heifer from Rocko's Modern Life would fit right in on that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear God. What were those things called that he ate all the time? Pasture puffies? Was that
something like that?
Yeah,
I think it was Pasture Puffies.
Remember that episode he choked on the like he died a couple of times. It's like we'll give you the chance to come back, and he eats the Oh my God. So I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to pick for All Real Monsters because I like spooky stuff, and I've always dug monsters, and like I said, All Real Monsters and Ren and Stimpy were the two that I could not. If I wasn't watching wrestling in the morning because there was like Saturday morning wrestling, I was watching those two cartoons.
It is good for our childhood,
yes.
And I'm not going to diss it. But I am going to devil's advocate, and if you like spooky stuff, scary stuff, slick stuff, smooth stuff, you also had Scooby-Doo.
I did have Scooby-Doo on there, but the problem with Scooby-Doo was it wasn't as funny.
I do agree with that.
Yeah,
and it was only a devil's advocate thing because I think All Real Monsters was more our childhood.
Yeah,
Scooby-Doo was the generation before us,
yeah.
and like came into ours. I mean, it's still around for the current generation. But
I know they have I think we were watching on Netflix. They have the Scooby-Doo. It's like 2005 when they brought it back, but it was like, and I've watched the movies too, which have a lot of adult humor in them.
don't know if I've ever like more than like stopping on the cable channel for 10 minutes. I don't think
I forget why I was watching them, but I think one of my kids saw the dog.
Exactly why I watched the live action one, but
Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Well, she's pretty, but I wanted to see what Velma looked like.
Yeah. Didn't disappoint me, man.
Yeah, it was all right.
Hey, just so you know, Velma cosplay is something that's...
How much cake are they going to put on Velma?
Are you going to lose your glasses and crawl around from or what, Velma?
You know me.
Oh, dear Lord. So,
but hey, yeah, I think that's a salt. I'm not going to argue. If you tried to put... So I'll say it now. If you tried to put Angry Beavers on the
I still have a pick.
No, you don't.
I do. 4. No.
You put Ren and Stimpy and...
Rock. Yeah, okay. Then you pick... Who'd you pick?
I picked Rocco's and Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we are lined up.
Yeah, if you tried to put Angry Beavers up, I was not gonna let that happen. It's just not.
What's your problem?
I don't think it's a bad one. I just think you and I both had better ones than that.
Yeah.
Which All Real Monsters would have been my argument.
Oh yeah, All Real Monsters would have been on there. So we have Rocco's Modern Life, All Real Monsters, Beavis and Butthead, and Ren and Stimpy.
I would put He-Man above Angry Beavers.
Really?
Yeah, man. He-Man.
Oh, good
Skeletor
Lord.
is an American icon. He's as Americana as Bruce Springsteen. I had all the toys.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Castle Grayskull, I had everything. Got it all at the thrift store.
Well, yeah.
All the toys were made in like 84 or whatever, like a year before I was even born.
Yeah, well, all super expensive too.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Especially, I know it's a collection, and I know I'm shitting on He-Man, and I liked He-Man to a certain extent too, but like, and also too, if you smoked crack and made cartoons, keep doing it because it's probably pretty cool. David Firth, love you. Salad fingers for life. So, but I think with He-Man, the problem that I had with it was I felt like it was so crudely drawn that even as a kid, I was kind of like, my eyes hurt.
I can understand that.
Yeah, it just hurt a little bit.
But I mean, another one on my list was I was between that or the G.I. Joe animated cartoon, which was just as crude.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
It was like stop animation almost.
Yeah, like I'm talking about. I'm talking about the old one, like the more you know, or knowing is half the battle.
Sergeant Slaughter
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, do you ever watch the recuts of the G.I. Joe PSAs on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, where they dub over the voices?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Nice try, Blanco Nina.
One, I can't even remember what it was called, but the one that I just now realized I left off my list that I watched all the time was the Batman animated series in the 90s.
Dude.
Where Mark Hamill was the Joker.
Yeah.
That was great. That could have went on the.
You know why?
We completely missed it.
Do you know why I didn't even think to put that on here?
Now.
I watch it now. Yeah, absolutely. Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
It's that one, and then Batman Beyond's on there now too. And I love Batman Beyond.
I don't know if I've watched any of that, but
oh my god, Batman Beyond is come after me, but I think Batman Beyond's actually better than Batman the Animated Series.
All right.
I really think it is. And if you watch it the right way, if you watch Return to the Dark Knight parts 1 and 2, and then you watch Batman. The new one, I lost the track of what I was going to say. But if you watch them back to back, it actually makes sense. You can see like how Bruce Wayne aged. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, I will have to say, like, on a Batman realm, but not in a cartoon realm, during, TV programming in the summer is just horseshit.
Yep.
I'm going to try to catch up on Gotham because I watched the first 2 seasons and then fell off.
Yeah, same.
I feel like I missed some really good shit.
Well, the reason why we fell off of it is because Gotham it was kind of slow to a certain degree. But
yeah, especially the first 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah, very slow. But then, like, other amazing stuff was coming out right at the same time. That's like when the Marvel Universe really took off.
That took off. I remember really being into, like, Sons of Anarchy then. And, darn it, Justified. Like, all the
dramas, yeah. Did you watch any of the, what was the X-Men spinoff that was on there on FX for a while?
I missed it.
Damn it.
I know what you're talking
Legion.
about. Yeah.
Legion.
Yeah, never
wow, man.
Was it good?
Talk about a banger.
There's something else to get back to.
Yeah, it was only like 2 seasons as well. And Aubrey Plaza's in it. So that, like...
I'm down.
Yeah. Anytime she's in anything, guarantee you're getting ratings from us.
Yeah, I don't need to watch John Cena announcing Wipeout because all the networks have to be cheap in the summer.
Or how about John Cena apologizing in Mandarin? That was something to behold too.
Yeah, I didn't know they put a chip in him while he's over.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to tell you right now, man, watching him come on the screen, I was like, what bullshit is he going to say now? And then he started laying down like better than me ever.
Yeah.
But it was good. Is it possible that John Cena might be one of the smartest wrestlers.
I take it back to a Tom Segura story where he talked about his dad flying on a plane next to John Cena, and he played Candy Crush for 6 straight hours. So that was not smart.
No way.
He just learned. He's just a dum dum that learned Mandarin. I will give him credit for learning Mandarin.
It's very difficult.
He's still a dum dum.
He played Candy Crush for 6
You never heard
hours?
that story?
No.
Oh yeah. It was either Tom Segura's dad or Burt Kreischer's dad. Sat on a flight next to him, and he's like, "This guy sat next to you. He didn't know who he was,
Yeah.
but he's like, you gotta see this guy when he comes off. He's huge,
Yeah.
but he's like a big dum dum. He just played Candy Crush for 6 straight hours.
I want to say it's probably Burt Kreischer's dad because Tom's dad was like, "Hey, buddy," and he was like, "What are you doing with the phone right there?"
I do think you're right. I think it
Yeah.
was Bert's dad.
Oh, shout out to Burt too. By the way, he's over in Serbia right now filming that
The Machine.
with Mark Hamill. Tie it all together,
Yeah,
man.
there we go.
Mark Hamill's going to be his dad.
Boom. Did a loop.
Yeah.
We're completely off of cartoons.
Boom. So to bring it back to more just complete randomness, we always put it out to our fans to send us emails, questions, and whatever. So we got some pretty cool ones here. It's not often we get to talk about some of these things. So Adam, this actually is a good question for you because when we did, if you remember way back, we talked about fantasy jobs. You actually said that you wanted to be a coffee roaster at one point.
Yes, I did.
So our fans posed to us, what is our favorite coffee joint and how do you take your coffee?
This is so easy for me.
Yep.
The reason I said coffee roaster was because of this place, and I love what they do. It is definitely local to Pittsburgh here, Black Forge Coffee. And how I take it is black all the time. If it's above 63 degrees outside, I get it iced. If it's below 63 degrees, I get it hot. But it's always black, no cream, no sugar, and as dark. I'll either get the espresso blend or just their darkest of dark roasts. That's how I like it.
I get an iced Americano. It's the most hardcore thing.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Oh, man, you actually stole my answer because I can't like Black Forge enough. I mean, and I like it for a lot of different reasons. So I think that in terms of like how I take my coffee, I think I'm a little more diverse than you on this one because I will take it it different ways. So like Black Forge, they have a whole drink list and it's all really good. And all their baristas are very, very skilled. So when you come in there, you have an ability to get something that fits your flavor profile.
Right.
I would say, I'll say this though. I do fall into the realm of you when it comes to iced coffee. I want it dark, black. I don't want anything in it. No sweeteners, no nothing. I want heavy ice. I want to taste the chocolatiness of the roast. The more you can steer towards cold brew, the better. And the only time I think I've ever taken anything in my cold brew is if you can somehow get like a cold foam to put on top of it.
Right.
Just like something, just a little touch.
They do make great, like, for lack of a better term, like coffee cocktails.
Yeah.
And they can do them hot or iced at Black
Which is
Forge.
cool.
So I have varied from my black is everything coffee order when I go with my wife because she'll get one of the fancy ones and then I'll be like, oh, like their seasonal list there.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, let me see what else they have. And I have dabbled and they're always delicious.
Yeah.
I'm never disappointed. But I usually do get those iced. I'm kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
Like iced, I'll do a little bit of, flavor in it or whatever. But if it's hot, I don't like flavored coffee either.
I know
It's
that
just
about
gotta
you.
be black.
Well, I think you and I could both agree on something. Anything that's artificially flavored, terrible.
When I was like in my early 20s, I blew my taste buds out on hazelnut Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Oh,
which
yeah.
wasn't super artificial, but like at some point my switch just flipped and I was like, I can't do any flavors. Like,
and I can say right now, hazelnut. I think it was. If anyone's gonna like venture into flavored coffee, I think hazelnut or French vanilla are like the two main flavors that people see when they want to make that jump.
Right.
But I want to say too, there's two other places I just want to give a shout out to real quick. Trace Brewing has their.
Still have to try their coffee.
Yeah.
I always go there like after 5 p.m. So it's all beer for me.
It's really good, man.
Okay, I'll have to try it out.
The other reason why I say Black Forge is I'm in that area so often when I'm in the city that's where I like to go to. But they're good, and there's a place down in Blawnox, another place down in Blawnox called Fahrenheit.
I've heard great things about them too.
Fahrenheit was fantastic. I actually had it was a Mexican inspired corn latte.
Interesting.
Sounds crazy. Tastes phenomenal.
Try it.
It tastes like chocolate street corn.
Well, not to give like too much away about our professions, but we also go to that one in the Strip.
Yes.
By our offices.
La Prima.
Which I love too.
Yes, La Prima has my heart. And they have a sick cold brew.
Yes. They make a sick Americano.
Oh, yeah. Dude, their nitro is really good, too. Yeah. You know what? La Prima's up there, too. Love you.
I'll give that as my second place.
I tell you what I don't drink. Starbucks. Nope.
They have a small smidge of my heart. I mean, I already got sued by them on this podcast.
Yes, you did. We got a cease and desist.
But I do love their nitro cold brew. Like if I'm
in a pinch,
in the middle of nowhere and the only coffee shop is Starbucks,
which it'll be there too. By the way, right. You can get lost in the desert and beg for water and find Starbucks.
6 of them in Zanesville, Ohio.
Yeah. Well, shit. If you go down to downtown Pittsburgh, number one thing, still building Starbucks behind where La Prima is. Starbucks. If you go 2 streets down, Starbucks.
In the Weston.
Starbucks. Yeah, I mean, smart play on their part. Like, you can't not make money when they're all over the place. But for Christ's sake, man, like, I don't know. People like it. More power to them. I don't know.
Although that one in the Weston doesn't have the nitro cold brew.
No. I will say this. Like, people might not like this, but when I was downtown and I had a choice between the Starbucks and the Steel Building, which is the best one.
Yes.
And agreed. Dunkin' Donuts. When did Dunkin'?
I like Dunkin's cold brew.
That's why I would go.
I don't like their hot coffee at all, any of them.
I would go there for the cold brew, even on cold days. And let me tell you this, though. Whenever I'm like kind of short on coffee at my house, I will get a bag of Dunkin', but I'll overload the filter and make it darker. Yeah, so... Adam, another question kind of towards you, buddy. You got to talk about Two Tones Brewing in Columbus. And by the way, if you haven't checked out Two Tones on Instagram, this Two Tones Brewing Company, check them out. They have great stuff out there. And if you go out to Columbus, just tell them the boys sent you. They'll take care of you.
I don't want to be mistaken, but I also think they were the brewery that had the Tegrity Farms I was talking about.
Nice.
Now that I'm like thinking back, I'm pretty sure they were also the Tegrity.
Go out there and ask for that Tegrity, baby. Yeah. So since you got to venture out to Columbus and find a great brewery out there, I know you've been all over the place. So what is your favorite brewery outside of Pennsylvania?
It's tough. I mean, it's kind of tough, and it's very cheesy for anybody that's really into craft beer for me to say this one. But if you're outside of craft beer, check them out. It's got to be Burial in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
This is my favorite.
Yeah. It's crazy you said Carolina because my favorite brewery outside Pennsylvania is in South Carolina, and it's Revelry Brewing.
You've talked to me about that one a few times. I gotta get my ass to South Carolina.
Yeah, dude. Revelry Brewing is exactly the blueprint of what I respect of brewers. Start with nothing, make it something. Local artists make all their labels, and they don't just have like we specialize in this kind of beer. They make everything, and everything's on tap when you get down there. So like if you're in the mood, and mind you, South Carolina is like hot no matter what time of year it is,
right.
But they still have stouts on tap.
Nice.
So hey, Steve and Adam, you can still get down there and check out some of the stouts they have going on.
And what part of South Carolina is that? Is that
Charleston? Yeah, it's near Charleston. Great spot. Also coming in second down there, just in that area, Holy City. I really loved Holy City when I was down there.
Don't make me pick a second. Just go to Asheville for my second. Like they're all second place. Exactly. They're all great.
Asheville's incredible, man. Yeah.
But my second place, not in North Carolina. Just a quick shout out, especially for a type of beer I wasn't into at the time. Some of the best Belgians I ever had were at Taxman, which I don't remember the city, but it's about a half an hour to 40 minutes south of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah.
Great stuff. If you're ever on your way to Indiana or Indianapolis for anything, search Taxman and get their double and triple Belgians.
Tripel.
Great, yeah.
Well, you're right. Yeah,
you got to put that stank on.
Tripel. Yeah, because those Belgians get funky.
Yeah, their double's the best double I've ever had.
Nice. I tell you what, too, man. It's that's probably the one style of beer that gets away from me is Belgian style because
I just got to be in the right mood.
Yeah,
I got to be inside. I don't like them when it's hot outside. I like a good Tripel when it's cold.
Yeah.
And I'm like down here in the basement and we're already like 4 deep. I'll be like,
And also too, I can't have eaten anything that's like heavy starch too. I have to have like kind of like a semi-empty stomach.
Yeah.
Because they're very filling.
a clean tummy.
A clean tum-tum. Yep. So we're going to move on to the third question here. Who is your favorite superhero? And I think I already know yours.
Yeah. Mine's caught a lot of shit
Yep.
lately.
I knew it.
Yeah, it got stolen by the freaking Capitol stormers and breachers
Jesus
and
Christ.
QAnon and all the crazies.
Yeah.
But yeah, my favorite of all time. And I'll qualify it with I'm more of a supervillain guy.
Yeah.
But for superhero, it's the Punisher.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, too, it sucks because I do love the Punisher, too, and they just took his emblem and just bastardized it, which sucks. And then the creators...
It was taken by the military was using it for this, which I was totally
fine with. Yeah.
That's why I loved it even more.
Yeah.
But then the nut jobs got a hold of it. Some I don't know how that...
Well, it's because
they all think they're Marines or something?
Every jackass that wants to put on a vest and think that they're militarized, they're always like, Punisher, Moab. They do all that. Like, all this shit that actually meant something to people who actually fight for freedom or, whatever it may be, and they fuck it up.
Yeah, I can't wear any of my T-shirts anymore.
Yeah. Dude, I have a sick Punisher baseball tee.
I have like 3 of them.
Oh, yeah, dude. You know what I thought you were going to say? I thought you were going to say Wolverine.
That's my very close second.
Yeah. So, a little inside tip. When I got married, I got all my groomsmen superhero T-shirts, and Adam was the only one I had to go get custom made because nobody was selling Wolverine T-shirts.
At the time. If you just got married like 2 years later.
If my wife would have just been like, hey, let's get married in 2015, I'd have been like, hell yeah, and I can get the T-shirt for Adam at a lesser price.
Yeah, because I wasn't some Superman wearing bitch.
So I wore Superman. I thought it was apropos because I was getting married.
But that's the funny part. Like, when I have to pick a superhero, I go Marvel with all of my, like, almost all of my picks.
Yes.
And then supervillains, DC.
All DC, yeah. So, and like you said, if I had to pick a supervillain to enjoy.
I didn't get to prep this. I don't know. I'd have to.
Let me do hero first. You can think of a villain, then I'll throw my villain out to you because my villain's very run of the mill.
Oh, I thought we had the same hero. Sorry about that.
No. I have a different hero than you.
Go for it.
So actually, when I think of my hero for superherodom, it's someone that I still read comic books. I love graphic novels. So Batman is my number one. Just the story arcs that I've been able to see. Oh, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. If you have not read The Bat Who Laughs, you are doing yourself a disservice. Even if you just like horror movies and you're not really into comic books, this will make you love comic books. Just think Batman's strength, power, and intelligence mixed with the Joker's complete ruthlessness, cunning, and depravity. Like, it's amazing. And then, like, there's multiverse stuff that's going on in there. It's just like time travel stuff and all kind, like, wonderfully thought out idea. And it's part of the Metal Knights saga that I've read too. And it's just like, you just see different Batman from different eras, and Gaslight Batman is incredible. He fights Jack the Ripper in that story arc. It's incredible. Yeah. And I don't want to spoil anything, but Jack the Ripper ends up being someone that kind of makes sense to you. But also, too, did you know that there was so I also watched this other one because I'm also kind of into this as well, but there was an anime Batman that came out. It was very anime style, very stylistic.
I do remember seeing that. Yeah.
Very good.
I heard great things about it. I haven't watched it.
For people who don't like anime, 'cause I know it's kind of like, I don't know, people are kind of weird about it. But like, I watched like Dragon Ball Z and shit like that. But like, this was good. I really enjoyed it. So I let Adam doom scroll on his phone for a while to find some notes on a supervillain.
I didn't want to misspeak on who my favorite supervillain was.
So let me know who it is.
Because he's very similar to a Marvel superhero. Yeah. Deathstroke was my favorite.
Yes. Okay.
DC supervillain.
So
I didn't want to misspeak because I knew. He's close to
Deathpool. Who's Deadpool?
He's a Marvel guy.
There's
Ryan Reynolds.
Who's Ryan Reynolds?
So Deathstroke's my favorite.
So Deathstroke. So recently played by Will Smith in Suicide Squad, and I think he's been.
That's Deadshot.
Deadshot.
That's also why I had to look it up because Deadshot's also in the DC universe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, man. Okay. Yeah. That takes depth.
So Deathstroke. I don't think he's been in a movie yet. He was in the comics. He's this guy here. I'm showing him an image for reference.
Yeah. So for people who can't see it, he's showing me an illustration. I think it's like a 1980s excerpt.
Yeah, I mean, they modernized him too, but yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool, man.
Will Smith played Deadshot.
Yeah.
Which is also DC, also a villain.
But I thought Deadshot, I thought Will Smith did a great job as Deadshot.
I think so too.
I thought he did it justice because some people, you know what? Here's the thing, man. I try to do things outside the box and not apply myself to the status quo. I'm still punk rock as fuck, which I'm 35 and it's past me. I made a reference the other day too to a movie to a new coworker of mine. And she had no idea what I was talking about. I made a Dumb and Dumber reference, and she was just like, I was like,
is this the same person who hasn't seen Billy Madison?
Yeah.
It's all making sense.
So I was like, IOUs, those are better than money. And she's like, no, they're not.
I was born after 99.
There's a 2 at the beginning of when I was born. So I finally felt old for the first time. But we had to go back to a supervillain that we really enjoy, that I really enjoy, and I think it just causes hopelessness, was Black Skull. I think Black Skull is, for people who don't know Black Skull, it's in the Batman story arc. It's a mafioso who gets horrifically injured, and he actually has the mask that he wore before the accident to terrify people, but it adheres to his head, and then he becomes even more cutthroat. Second in line to that would be Jigsaw from The Punisher.
Marvel. I was going to say that's the parallel for me. Jigsaw was a badass in the Marvel universe.
Jigsaw was a terrifying person, but I would say I challenge you though. The most terrifying supervillain of all time is Carnage.
Yeah, I could.
Carnage, man. Oh man,
I can see that.
Yeah, Carnage, the symbiote animation of a death row inmate who finally finds the strength of the Venom symbiote.
Yeah, made Venom look like a bitch.
Yeah, fucked Venom up. So if you liked Venom, please don't watch Carnage because he gets jacked. So we're going to move into an email here, and this one is really fun, and it's something that we actually got to do. So what's up, boys? With live events coming back around, are you guys going to go out to see any live wrestling events or concerts? And what was your favorite concert or live event you've ever been to? And I think I want to go to a sporting event, and I want to tailgate. So what are the essentials to the perfect quote-unquote bro-gate? Thanks.
Ooh. That's loaded.
Very loaded question. So I think we got to break it down one at a time here. So let's go with the first one. So are we going to go see any live wrestling events or concerts?
I would love to see NXT or AEW if they come to town. I know they announced the Raw coming.
Yeah. Not going to that.
Yeah, I don't think I want to waste my money on that. But as far as live concerts, I know Billy Strings is coming in August, and then Amigo's coming in October.
October 2nd. Coming
those
in.
I think if those tickets
today.
are on sale, we got to buy them up. I know Billy Strings already sold out. I'm going to have to buy them second market.
Oh, Jesus.
Secondary market. So I'm just going to spend a ton.
Buttload
I think
of
they're
money.
like 70 a piece now.
That's not too bad.
No, I mean, I have to buy 2 of them.
So I definitely Amigo for sure. I mean, I think tickets went on sale today actually, so we got to look at that when we're done talking to you guys.
Yeah,
and if
I saw the LA show's already sold out.
Oh yeah, and Pittsburgh will sell it too. So it's Pittsburgh second. Not Pittsburgh the second, but it's October the 2nd in Pittsburgh. If I can speak well, I make money with my words. So we're going to buy tickets for that, and I can say too for live wrestling events. There are some local shows that might be coming around more often. We have like IWG stuff that comes around, things like that.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I'd love to go to that stuff.
I mean, you can go to those for like $15.
Yeah, $15, and you can actually drink with the wrestlers afterwards.
Right.
And so we might hit some of those up too, and maybe bring you guys some interviews with those people. It'd be kind of fun. But I'm with Adam. Not so much NXT for me, but I want to see AEW live. I missed it when they came here the first time, and Britt Baker was still a babyface,
right?
Which was really weird to think about. So then we move on to what was your favorite concert or live event you've ever been to?
So it's split for me. And I don't know the years on either of these. I was trying to figure it out, and I still couldn't figure it out. So in my second place, because I just can't pick one, but my second place was I went to Rolling Rock Town Fair when that was a thing.
Oh yeah.
And Velvet Revolver.
No
headlined.
way.
Yeah, and it was Scott Weiland was freaking amazing, and seeing him play with basically Guns N' Roses behind him was
sick.
Phenomenal.
Dude, how close were you to the stage at that, by the way?
Very close. Because
Yeah.
it rained all day, so a bunch of people freaking left. And
Yeah.
it wasn't like it was Stone Temple Pilots or Guns N' Roses. It was like a new... Like, they
Guns-
were only
Guns
out...
and Pilots.
Yeah, they were only out for a couple months
Oh,
at
dude,
the time.
that had to be right when Slither...
Yeah, it was right when that
Oh,
hit.
my
Yeah,
God. How cool was like that?
So, that was a
Oh.
killer performance. And then I can't even remember the Ozfest lineup of the one Ozfest I went to.
2005, baby.
I think it might have been 2005.
Yes.
Or it was 2004. It was like right in there.
I know what you're talking
But
about.
it was the one where Black Sabbath played.
Yep.
And there was a lightning storm.
Yes.
And lightning was striking behind the stage while Sabbath played. And Sabbath was still as good as any of their records.
Yes.
Even though Ozzy was a mumbling,
Yeah.
pilled up mess.
Yep.
That's the headliners I remember. And I know that Ozfest was built out like crazy too.
Yeah.
And so was that Rolling Rock Town Fair was actually the town fair. Weird that I remember this, where the guy from the lead singer from Disturbed and the lead singer from Finch got in a fight.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's how long ago that
Did
was.
David Draymond win that fight, by the way?
Yeah.
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 What it is to burn, you
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
So you're thinking of 2004.
I think both of those might have been the same, almost the same year.
They were incredible.
They were within like 2
So
years of each other.
2004 saw the return of the original Black Sabbath. They were playing Paranoid. This is before you and I knew each other, by the way, which is pretty cool. We were at the same place. But they were playing Paranoid, and Ozzy laughed. And this is the thing I remember the most. He laughs, and the spider of lightning hits behind the stage.
They also had a really sick like single bolt come down when they were playing War Pigs.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was so cool.
Yeah.
Not as cool as whenever you and I went to that concert with like Marilyn Manson. And remember, it rained so hard that they Avenged Sevenfold came out like, just rock and roll, go home.
There's only one thing I remember from that show, and
Yeah.
you probably don't want me to mention it.
Oh, when I peed myself?
Yes. I was like, I'm gonna go to the porta potties, and you're like, why don't you just pee right here? I was like, because I don't want to like expose myself.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, just pee your pants. All the cool kids are doing it. And I was like, wait, are you peeing yourself right now? And he's like, and you were just,
I was midstream, man.
yeah, because we were soaked, like you couldn't even tell.
You couldn't tell what it was.
And I was like, yeah, but what about getting home? He's like, I'm not going home in my car.
Yeah, we were riding one of our old buddies' cars. When you made eye contact, like, wait, are you gonna go right now? I'm like, I'm already in it, dude. I'm already going. Oh yeah, and I tell you right now too, that was out at Burgettstown, and if I was the only person taking a pee in the lawn, then
I wouldn't be. Yeah, I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was Manson opening up for somebody good?
Wasn't it Rob Zombie? Wasn't it the Twins of Evil tour?
No, it was the year before that.
Oh, wait a minute. Avenged Sevenfold was the opening band.
No. Of Mice and Men were the.
Are you sure?
So. I think so.
But I remember seeing some songs from Avenged Sevenfold before that started.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have just been what they were playing before Manson came out.
Yeah, maybe. But I remember Manson came out and like lightning hit the stage and knocked everything out, and we were just done.
Right.
Yeah. And I pissed myself. That's what I did. So I'm actually going to be a little more nostalgic with my favorite live performance, because there was a time where Adam and I were going to go see Amigo the Devil for the first time, and we didn't have tickets because we thought like, oh, he's like a small indie artist, like we're not going to worry about it. We get tickets at the gate. We didn't really know that he had such a following. I mean, this thing had sold out. So Adam, for the first time ever, I think the roles finally reversed, where you were positive and I wasn't.
Yeah, it never happened before. It hasn't happened since.
Yeah. Adam had the
But
power
that day,
of positivity,
I was like,
man.
no, we're going to go get beers and we're going to listen to some goddamn music.
Yeah. So we're over at Grist House, and we're drinking beers, and we're just kind of like relegating, like, okay, we're not going to go see him. He's playing at Mr. Small's. He's like 2 streets back. Like, we're never going to get to go over there. It's fine.
In the fun house.
Yeah.
During the same night, the Korn was playing.
Yeah.
At the bottom. Korn was in with somebody.
Yeah. Oh, I think Jonathan Davis was doing like his own.
Or you know what? Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
it was Jonathan Davis
doing
on
a
his solo
set.
tour.
Yeah. So we're hanging around in Grist House, and we can't find tickets, of course. Like, we're trying to like double up or whatever, and trying to like go online and find stuff. We're striking out, and tickets are going for like $100. Like, I'm not spending $100. So Adam looks at me and he goes, hey, let's just go get some greasy food, relax, and see if we can find something. So we went to a food truck, and when we came back, whoever that dude was like, those people are selling tickets over there. And then we met two like really awesome guys. Like, yeah, man, we're just gonna go over there. We have extra tickets.
Our two friends bailed, and we have two extra tickets.
Two extra. And I was like, I'm like thinking like, oh fuck, they're gonna want like tickets were going for $20 originally. I'm like, man, they're gonna want like $50 a piece from us. They're like, no, man, face value, it's totally cool, not a problem. And we got tickets to go see Amigo the Devil, and we walked in, and it was a show where it was like, it was a band, it was a local band that was playing at first, but then it was like Harley Poe was playing, and then Amigo the Devil played. It was one of those incredible shows we ever been to together, you know, when we see shows together, and it was just phenomenal. But for me, and I don't think you remember this, so I bought a shirt at this thing where it has a bunch of serial killers on it, and it's like, you know, Dahmer and Amigo the Devil's in the bottom because he sings songs about serial killers. And I put it around my neck, and we walked back to our cars at the end of the night, and I was like, man, that was so awesome. Like, dapped each other up, and like, okay, I'm going. So I get in my car, and I'm driving home, and I'm like, oh man, it's so cool. And I got like stickers and like a t-shirt, and I reach down and I don't feel the shirt. I'm like, oh no. And it struck me like I took my jacket off to get in the car, and I flicked the shirt off, and it was in the middle of the road. So I'm like, I'm already 2 minutes away from home. I'm not turning around. It's like a 30-minute drive back. I was like, you know what? Chalk up to the gods, man. It was a cool show. Kind of sucks I don't have that shirt. And then I rode back through the next day to go to work. And I was like, you know what? Screw it, man. I'm going to take a quick detour to see if it's still there. And it was in the middle of the street, covered in frost. And I called you. Yeah, I called you. I had it laying across the vents of my car, defrosting. And I was like, it's like, dude, you never guess what I found. Yeah, man, but that was probably my favorite show so far. Show.
Yeah. That was probably my favorite since I moved back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, for sure.
Either that or the time we went to see Every Time I Die, because it's Every Time I Die.
Every time. Yeah, well, that's a given. I'm trying to find a good, solid second place.
That was a really good just day.
Yeah.
Going to see Amigo the Devil.
It was fantastic. And everyone was so nice. And I think we actually ended up getting those tickets because we were being gentlemen, and we gave our seats to people who were waiting to drink beer at Grist House.
Yeah, we gave our seats up at the bar because I couldn't stand and drink like a champ.
Yep.
To a point.
To a point. Then you become melted candle, Adam. So,
crumple physics.
So last question here is, so this young gentleman wants to go to a sporting event, wants to tailgate, and he wants to know what are the essentials to the perfect brogate. So we've had the perfect brogate, by the way.
We did.
Yeah.
It was a case of light beer for every person, so that's 30 cans.
30 cans per person. We had 7 people. We had 7 people.
We had 8 people, and I think we had 10 cases of beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, lots of beer, number one. And then...
And do light beer because it's a marathon. When you're tailgating,
it's not a sprint. Right. It's not a sprint. And I should mention, too, we were tailgating for the Pirates, so we had no vested interest in actually seeing the game. Right. So don't pick something like, oh, I'm going to go see, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You want to see something like it's game 61 of a 182 game season for the Pirates, and they're already under 500. Yeah. So we had more than 40 cans of beer for each person, and then you have to make sure that one person is smart enough to bring some kind of mobile grill.
Right.
Have to. Because you have to have protein.
And you have to have the meat. Yeah, you have to have the meat to put on the grill, so don't forget that.
Lots of protein.
It's very important.
So people have this misconception where you have to eat bread to sober up, and it's not the case.
No, you need that meat.
You need that meat. Protein. Protein actually helps you sober up faster.
My misconception is cheese. I just start downing cheese.
Sir, I've told you enough times. Adam, if you drink enough beer and eat cheese, all you do is create an atom bomb in your stomach, and then you just gross people out. So you want to make sure you have the beer, the grill, the meat, and the number one thing you need to have, I think, are fun people to be around.
Yeah, have good friends.
Yeah.
I would say also have a generic activity. You don't need to have cornhole. Everybody does cornhole.
Everyone has that.
We took a makeshift beer pong table with us. But that was back in the early 2010s.
When it was fun and cool.
Everybody was playing beer pong still.
But I tell you what, though, man, that was a party starter because we had other people from other tailgates come over and play with us.
Yeah.
So our party grew from like 8 to like 20.
And I would say just like kind of something that's probably overlooked, like a good fully charged Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah,
so you can have
now.
some music going. Yeah.
So man. So we had Lamb of God blasting at one point.
Yeah, we just had the cars on playing out of the.
I was smacking beers at people's hands.
I played Lamb of God out of my Scion TC, man.
Hell yeah, jealous.
Barely fit a cooler in that thing.
Yeah, man, it was almost like we all had to coordinate to bring like the smallest things we all had because we were all broke, so we all had small cars.
Right.
So like I'm showing up in my little Toyota Corolla, and if you don't know what I look like, by the way, I'm 6'2" and I'm like 310 pounds, and I was in a Toyota Corolla SE, by the way, so super small. But yeah, you want to have your essentials. And then I always say this now, as a 35-year-old man, you need to have something non-alcoholic on site. You have to.
That's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
Listen, 22-year-old me would have called me a bitch.
We had 10 cases of beer and I think 24 bottles of water.
No, we didn't.
We had some water.
We had 2 bottles of water. And they weren't even like liter bottles of water.
They were from our hotel rooms.
They were from our hotel rooms. They were the little bottles that you don't have to pay for if you take them from the mantle. You know what I mean? The complimentary ones.
Yep.
Nobody walked away from that Brogate ready to be in public whatsoever.
I drank mystery moonshine in line for a porta potty there.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Don't remember the rest of the night.
I was ready to say, man. I ate. Did I ever tell you about the time I ate those moonshine blueberries? When I was at an
Ozfest. We were there together.
Yeah.
Or whatever Mayhem Fest.
Whatever that dipshit. He's like, my name is Turtle. Or
Yeah. We were in line for the porta potties together.
Yeah.
It was either cherries or blueberries or raspberries.
It was blueberries, and I was a dum-dum, and he's like, they're 190,000 proof. Like, he has no idea what alcohol is. And I was like, whatever, and I put my whole hand in and ate like a palm full of berries.
I remember going back to our tailgate after that, and I think we were both single, or like didn't have whoever we were dating there with us.
Yes.
And we told the rest of the group what we did, and they're like, did you know this guy? And I'm like, no. They're like, you just drank his mason jar of alcohol and then ate the berries out of it? I'm like, yeah. They're like, what if it was gasoline? I was like, not blind yet.
Yeah, we're doing okay now. Yeah. And also, too, it was funny to hear even like, well, what was his name? Like, it was fucking Turtle.
That's my final truth.
Shout out to Turtle. Hope you're doing all right, buddy. You gave us gasoline berries and we survived.
They're great.
But, man, I think you're still drinking them, so you got holes in your brain now, buddy. So, Adam, speaking of holes in the brain, we did sip on some wonderful Dad Shoes. Again, I can't say it enough. Dad Shoes was here in the Jojitorium. It is on tap right now. But I want Adam to let everyone know what else is on tap here in the Jojitorium.
Sure. The Jojinator is still on tap 1, but there is literally 3 pints left, so we're going to have to start brewing around here. But that's our Orange Blossom Double IPA. Going to be gone soon. The Dad Shoes Lemon Summer Shandy Ale just hit the taps today as we're recording this.
Yeah.
5.2, great summer sipper. I have 2 kegs of it. Get it now though. It's gonna go fast. I'm getting a lot of
very fast.
A lot of response to it. We still have a little bit of the Mom Jeans Mimosa Ale on. It's at 6.8, and then we have the.
Can you wait? Could you get Dad Shoes and Mom Jeans and call it pending divorce?
No. We call it Weekend with the Kids.
2 Christmases! Yay!
And then in the number 4 spot, we just put on the second and final keg of the retired triple agent, our pineapple jalapeno triple IPA coming in at 10.2. Come get it. I want to kill that thing this week. Yeah. Let's do it.
R.I.P. Connell. You made sure you drove the most bitching car with skulls in it I've ever seen in my life. And if you want to know what's happening with Adam down here in the Brew Lab and what we're up to, you can always search us out at @bash_brew on all social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to follow Adam on Untapped to see what's going on in the Brew Lab. And if you want to find out what's happening with us here on Decaying with the Boys, we are at Decaying WTB on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Do not forget to keep sending in all your emails and questions and whatevers to decayingwtb@gmail.com. And I want to say, Adam, we are going to be on Wild Nights with Rocky Powell, her IG live show that she has every week. We're going to be on there on June 16th. It's a Wednesday at 8 p.m. Rocky has been phenomenal to us. She's been very helpful, and she's been so gracious as to invite us onto her show. And if you have not listened to Wild Nights with Rocky Pal, you are doing yourself a disservice. You could be a party god right now by going over and following her at Wild Nights with Rocky on all social media, and she's super active on Twitter. So check her out. She's the bee's knees.
Yeah, a little preview. You're going to hear how our Brogate tailgate party ended probably on that podcast.
I would say you're definitely going to know a lot of things. We tried to steal stuff. One of us fell asleep somewhere. There's stuff.
There's stuff.
Tune
One of us
in.
tried to jump off a bridge.
Yeah. So tune in on June 16th and you can find out all about it. So again, at @Bash_Brew for all your beer needs and at the Dwtb for all your podcast news. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.